Today we're going to take notes on multiplying fractions by whole numbers. I apologize if you hear a lot of background noise. My son is playing basketball and it seems like the neighborhood kids are out, which is great. But I apologize if it's distracting. So there are lots of different ways to represent and think about multiplying fractions. We're going to start by writing down the steps to modeling and multiplying using the visual model. And then after that, we'll write down the standard algorithm. Both are really important. So we're going to multiply 2/3 by 4. And I'm going to represent 2/3 using a bar model. Rectangles are a lot easier for me to draw than circles. So I'm going to draw a rectangle and split it into thirds. And then I'm going to draw that 4 more times. But first, since I'm using technology, I'll highlight 2/3 and then copy and paste 3 times. And then I'll pause at the end of this so that you have a couple of seconds to catch up. And remember, if you need to pause the whole video, you can do that too. So there you see 2/3 multiplied 4 times. Now that we've multiplied that 4 times, I'm going to count up how many thirds I have. And you'll see that there are 8 thirds. So the answer is 2/3 times 4 is 8 thirds. Then I'm going to simplify. I'm going to see if I can combine those 8 thirds that are in separate bar models into less bar models. This will tell me how many wholes I have and help me to reduce to a mixed number. So this is 8 thirds. 8 thirds is 2 and 2/3. 2 wholes and 2/3. So we could represent it as 8 thirds, an improper fraction, or you'll see that I have 2 wholes there and 2/3 left. So we can represent that as 2 and 2/3. So let's write down the steps. Step 1. Draw a model . Step 2. Repeat the model. Ooh, that's a weird the. Let's fix that. Repeat the model the same number of times as you're multiplying by. I'm not sure if that's exactly what I wrote. Let's see. Repeat the model the same number of times we are multiplying by. Repeat the model the same number of times we are multiplying by. Step 3. Simplify. All right, if you have about half a page left, you could probably continue on the same paper that you're using on the same page. I've run out of room to write my whole standard algorithm notes, so I'm going on to the next page. But you likely have enough room to stay on the same page. So we're going to look at the algorithm for multiplying fractions by whole numbers. And that's just the mathematical steps that you take. The standard algorithm is usually the most simple way to do something mathematically. So we're going to take the problem 2/3 times 4 again, and I'm going to rewrite it here on this page, 2/3 times 4. Our step number 1 is going to be to rewrite the whole number Rewrite the whole number as a fraction. Rewrite the whole number as a fraction. Excuse me, that says rewrite the whole number in fraction form. So any whole number over 1 is the fraction form. We've got 2/3 times 4 over 1 because it's not being divided by anything. It's in its whole form. Step 2 is to multiply across. Multiply the numerators, 2 times 4. Multiply the denominators, 3 times 1. And your answer is 8/3. 8/3. Reduce or simplify as necessary. And we saw in the visual model that 8/3 equals 2 2/3. And step number 3 says reduce if you can't read my writing. Thanks for watching.